What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your month of December got off to a good start. So the market has been a little bit choppy this month here. So far, we've got into green days so far, and are we going to see the market rally, break out from here to all-time highs, or are we going to get like a consolidation until the Fed meeting on the 10th? So in this video, I'm going to break down what is coming next in the market so that you guys can prepare and position yourself strategically for the next move. So without much ado, I'll just share my screen here and then I will go to the main chart. So over here, I do have, let me go to the SPY. So on the SPY, what I see here is that we are at a point where, let's do this. So if you check out the SPY, this is the SPY chart. You can clearly see that we have been consolidating here, right? So this was on Friday's move. This was yesterday and then today, right? So far you can see that the volume here has been low, right? We've been still trading in low volume. So it tells me that the smart money and folks, the smart money guys, the guys that work in the hedge funds and the banks that move the market, I don't think that all of them are back to the office yet. So we currently seeing that low volume, or just people are just waiting to see what the Fed does on December 10th. So here, what I'm looking at is that based on this is what I see here. So we have something looking like a bull flag forming. So here, this is your flagpole. This is looking like it's forming a bull flag, right? So this is a flagpole. So what I expect to see here is that we could get several days, we could get like a choppy week here. We could get tomorrow could be trading within this range, this box here. You see this area. So price could be trading within this range and continue until Wednesday, when next week Wednesday, not this coming Wednesday, next week Wednesday, when the Fed meeting comes, the FOMC comes, and then based on what Powell and his team says, then if it's positive, which the market is thinking, is already pricing in a rate cut, so it's going to give us something like this. We are going to get like a green candle. It's not going to be this size. I don't know the size, but I'm just trying to draw it out here. So we are going to get something of that sort, and then we can break out and go, right? So, but for now, if you are a day trader or a swing trader, you just have to be mindful that we could chop here for some time until such a time that news catalyst or something comes out, the rate cut is done, or something to do with the catalysts that are coming up this week that can move it from this range. So we could be range bound for some time until the Fed meeting comes in. So over here, I see this critical level, which is 1684.85. So we could be trading within this range. So we filled this gap already on Friday. We filled this gap on Friday. So this is the gap that was filled on Friday. And so far, we haven't broken above it yet, right? So price has been trading within that range and just waiting to see what happens next, right? But so that is what I'm looking at. That's how I see things. So if we break down, let's say we are unable to hold this consolidation area, then we are going to come down here and fill the gap here. So there's a little ETBC gap here that needs to be filled. And I believe that if the market is not holding up at the consolidation range, we might come here and fill this gap here. So that's the next area where price can go. Okay. So also let's take a look at the economic data. So marketwatch.com here. So right here, marketwatch.com, let's see what's happening. So tomorrow we have ADP employment. So, if this comes in good, it's going to help the market push up. But I believe that what the market is going to be watching closely is going to be Friday's data, actually, Thursday and Friday, because that's the most important data that we are going to have before the Fed meeting. So jobless claims. So we've not had, and now a flow of data due to the government shutdown. Now that the government shutdown was over last month, we are now going to get a slew of data that is going to come in. And then based on this data, the Fed can use that to cut interest rates. So if this number, so here, the market is yearning for rate cuts. So if this number comes in and this so the forecast is 220,000. So something around 220,000 or something above it could help the rate cut situation, because it's going to force the Fed to be in the box, because hey, jobless claims are increasing, so you guys have to cut interest rate. And the reason why you cut interest rate in September, and also you cut some in October, that was due to the fact that the labor market was weakening. It wasn't due to the fact of inflation. So inflation is not really, the Fed is not really looking at that as a big deal. I mean, they've still not met their 2% target. However, what they are looking at the most, where the market is going to focus on the most, is this jobless claims. If so, let's say this number comes in and it's like, instead of 220,000, it's like 200,000. So that in itself is a good news, showing that the economy is resilient. However, the market might not like it, because that will mean that the Fed can be hawkish and say, hey, you know what? The economy is still strong, so we don't need to even cut this interest rate then, right? So that's what they would do. So that is something that I'm going to be watching closely on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. at pre-market, before we do our day trading session. So on Friday, you are going to get the PCE inflation data. So this is the Fed's preferred gauge for inflation. So this has to come in good. So the forecast is 2.9. If the forecast comes in and is better than this, then it's going to cause the market to rally. So two catalysts that is going to move the market is this one and that one. So potentially that's what the market is waiting for, right? So the market is waiting for that news to come out. So tomorrow could be a chop day. We could trade within this zone. And then once the jobless claims comes, and if it's good, the market likes it, then we are going to pop. If the market does not like it, we are going to sell to the downside. And then the PCE inflation is going to come. And then that will also move it in one direction or the other. But for now, tomorrow, I believe that we are going to get like a chop, because we are going to be trading in this range. And they are going to wait. The smart money are going to put their bullets in their chamber to wait until they come in, the news comes in. If the news comes in and they can project that, okay, based on this news, it looks like there's a certainty that the Fed is going to cut interest rates. So let's look at the Fed Watch tool. Fed Watch tool, this one. If you go to the Fed Watch tool, you're going to see here that the probability of an interest rate cut in December is almost 90%, right? So 89%. So if something is 89%, then all what the market is looking for, because the market has gradually started pricing in interest rate cuts from last week. So once these numbers, jobless claims numbers comes, and it helps with the interest rate cut narrative, is going to cause us to break out and go. So we might like, if things are good, we might be trading at all-time highs before the Fed meeting, right? And then once the Fed meeting comes, it's going to be buy the rumor, sell the news, then it's going to sell, something like that. So that's how I see things happening, but we shall see how it plays out. So as a technician, what I do is that I always look at the technicals, and then I use that to prepare in all scenarios, whether long or short. Like I go in neutral, right? But based on the technicals, whichever one triggers first, we execute on that, and then we move on. That's how it is. So now let's look at the VIX, because this is going to be very important. The volatility index VIX. So if you look at the VIX, right? In earlier videos I did like 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that VIX was going to come to this supply zone and crash out there, and it just came and crashed out there, and it was a beauty, right? So here, if you know about this, that was when on that Friday, this was Thursday, Friday, I entered a position long for SPY and QQQ, and we rode it to the upside. So here, this is a reversal, right? So right now we are at this critical level. So if you look at this, we are at this critical level here on the VIX. So the VIX needs to hold this area, right? It needs to hold here, right? So if it holds here, then we can see if we can get a bounce. But anytime the VIX is around 15, the number 15, it creates complacency. Like that means complacency in the market. So do not be surprised if we get a little bit of volatility coming either on Thursday or Friday, maybe the news or something is going to coincide with this, and we are going to get that kind of push. So if VIX finds a footing here and holds, so this area here, anywhere here, the VIX can bounce. So this area here is going to be what I call my demand zone, right? So demand zone. So anywhere here, do not be surprised to see if the VIX bounces, because here you see price has come here several times and bounce, right? So you could do the same thing this time around. So we shall see how things play out, but do not be surprised if you see the VIX start spiking, and which is going to coincide with the the drop in the market, right? So the VIX is opposite of the S&P 500's price action. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be watching the VIX closely and this demand zone to see what happens, and we will take things from there. Okay. Next one I'm going to watch is the tech heavy QQQ. So QQQ was strong today. Those in our day trading service, we traded this live, and it was a tin of beauty. So I traded the NQ futures, and other members traded QQQ calls. So if you want to day trade with us, we are offering our Black Friday sale ends today. Black Friday, Cyber Monday sells today. Everything is going out for 30% off. So here, if you want to sign up for our courses, you come here. You go to our website, tradingrich.com, and you basically click on the courses. And then here is where you get, so this is a live day trading. So if you're struggling to be a consistently profitable trader, either options or futures, you're struggling to get funded with a prop firm, you are struggling to get a payout from a prop firm, or trade your own personal account with futures, this service is going to help you sharpen your edge and then get funded and get a payout. Also, if you are struggling to be consistent as an options trader, this is the service for you. So we trade a specific strategy, right? We trade focusing on the first hour where you see the largest volume, okay? And most of the time we are done with our trades by 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Like today, the trade was a tin of beauty, right? We traded NVIDIA long at the open. It was a beauty. And then we traded QQQ long at the open as well, for the options traders, and the NQ for the futures traders. So right out of the gate, so you are going to be guided step by step every single day on why we are taking it. So it's not just buy here, sell here. No, I give you clear explanation as to why we should take this trade. Why is a good setup? Why you should sell here? Why you should. So the more you are learning, it helps you to become a more consistent trader, so that you can take those trades on your own next time and become confident, right? Here also we have this. So this is just $97 USD, $97 USD, per month. And then you can get it for 30% off. So we have a sale going up now, 30% off. So you're going to get this as 60 something dollars. And then here you can also get our yearly package. This is going up for, so this already gives you 2 months free. So you're paying for 10 months, right? It gives you, you're only paying for 10 months, but you get 2 months free. And also, if you take advantage of the Black Friday sale that's going up right now, which expires in the next few hours here, is going to expire at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you take advantage of it, you are going to get additional 30% off, okay, on this. All right. So let me go back to the trade here, this one. So here with QQQ, what I'm looking out for QQQ was, today I was looking for a break of this trend line, right? And we broke it nicely, and we are pushing up. So tech was stronger than the SPY. So I told members that our focus today was on QQQ. Again, if you trade with us every day, Within the first 5 minutes, I can tell, or within a pre-market, I can tell that, okay, this is going to be the leading, or this one is going to be the lagging, right? So based on that, we can position ourselves well. So if QQQ is showing strength, we focus on strength if you want to go long. If SPY is showing weakness, we focus on that if you want to go short. So we keep it simple, right? These two, SPY and QQQ, move together. They're like brother and sister, or family members. They move together, right? They're like twins, right? So they end up at the same location. So tomorrow, what I'm going to look for QQQ is that, are we able to break above this level, right? If we do, there's also this area here. So this area is going to be critical, right? So what I would say is that there's also there's a gap here. So what I would say is that for QQQ, we have this, what looks like a 5-point move. So even here, we have to add this previous close as well. So these areas are areas of interest for QQQ, right? So if it's able to blast through, then we are going to go and we can get to 629 tomorrow if the market is strong, right? So QQQ is setting up for a move. It has already squeezed out, and we shall see if it still has some juice in it to push up. Okay. All right. So QQQ is going to be my main focus tomorrow, for a continuation to the upside if it's able to break and hold above 223. 623, sorry, 623. Okay. All right. So that's QQQ. All right. So let's check out some individual stocks that I have here on my radar for tomorrow. And then the days ahead, you can day trade this, you can swing trade this. These are high probability setups that I'm looking at. So one of them is QBTS. QBTS is this. So here, look at this. So QBTS is in the quantum computing sector. So I see here, this is like an inverted and shoulder. So this is your left shoulder, right shoulder. This is your neck, head, and then. So if tomorrow this is able to break above 2320 or 2318, then we are going to push to 24 level. So at least I want this to come here to the 20 SMA area. So I'm going to mark this as purple. If you can get this to push to this area, that's going to be nice, and going to be nice. So then from there, we'll target this gap fill, this HCBC gap fill here at $26, and then that will be the area where I want this to come to. So this is setting up for explosive move coming up. So we want to watch this trend line, is going to be my guide, and once above it, then we are off to the races. This is going to lift up very fast. And then other short stock that I've been shorting is SNDX. Right? The SNDX. So here, this stock is a new IPO. It's been going parabolic, right? So I like this kind of stocks where they go parabolic. I like to time them and then short them, right? Because I have a specific way where I target this stuff. So if you look at this, right, this is the weekly time frame. So this was a breakout zone. This was a breakout. So we broke out from here, and then this went all the way up. And so it's been running. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So it's been going up all this while, right? But you can see that immediately we got to this area. So typically, once you see the highest volume, right, for this kind of things, once you see the highest volume here, push up, and that highest volume did not really give you any long candle, because like this is the highest volume. So if you look at this, throughout the time, right, throughout the all-time volume, right, this has been the highest volume. But where did that go? It did not even go anywhere. It was just a small, even this one, which was a small one, was even a longer volume than. So that tells you that the party is coming to an end, right? And I look at the candle. The weekly candle here is a topping tail candle. So if you've taken our course or part of our community, you are going to know that we have what is called Rich's Law. So Rich's Law states that all stocks behave like, they have a breathing system, right? That, like, they can inhale or exhale, right? So example, Here you have the stock in the Y state is far away, right? It's wide. So anytime you have a stock in a Y state and you have this topping tail candle forming, it leads to a collapse and a reversal. Typically, they reverse back to the 20, but this one we shall see if it can reverse back to the 20. But this is setting up for it has already sold, so we are going to see if it can hold. So is this able to hold this level? So we have this trend line here, which has been a critical trend line. So if this holds this trend line, then I'm going to see if it can reverse. If it doesn't, then it breaks below here. I'm going to open a new short position to the downside. So these type of trades, right? If you're able to catch the move, it really pays, right? It pays big time, right? So here, this thing sort of in 1 week is sort of by almost 30%, 29%, right? It was an absolutely killer trade, right? So here, this is a stock that I'm going to be watching to see whether it can hold or it can sell. So that is something that I'm going to be watching out. So those are the key things that I'm watching for the rest of the week here as we enter into next week. So I hope this was insightful. If you like the video, please like the video. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends and family and anybody in your network that trades, so that they can also learn and join our community. And then also, if you want to learn how to trade to become a profitable and consistently profitable trader, then you can sign up for our ongoing Black Friday promo for all our courses, and then you can join us either to live day trade or to swing trade in our trading rates, right? So yeah, so without much ado, have a good night, and then we look to see you in the next video later in the week on Thursday and also on Sunday on YouTube live whilst I go live for the weekly game plan. So have a good night. Bye for now.